everyone, welcome back to another video. Thank you for joining me here on my Endwalker playthrough. So we're going to be pick up immediately where we left off from last time, which was amazing. I loved it. We left Charlian, we left the world completely, we traveled off to the Sea of Stars, and it was on the wings of primals, believe it or not. Like, all the primals we fought up till now, like, I think the only exception was Shiva. So Shiva wasn't there, but then again, she was there protecting us during that last dungeon. So that was amazing, by the way. But long story short, the primals were summoned. They helped us out. They absorbed all that ether from the Mother Crystal, and they flew right into the Ragnarok ship. And that has just kind of opened up it's kind of like teleporting in a way. Because, like, no sooner were we on the ship and we were there for like a few minutes, and then suddenly the Loporettes were saying, yep, we're almost there. It was like, so I can only assume that with all that ether, we just sort of teleported from, like, Earth's atmosphere, like Aetheris' atmosphere, and now we're to where Meteion's nest is. We did confront Meteion briefly on board the Ragnarok, and I'm gonna say it, she was creepy as hell. Like, there's like not a trace of the cute little girl that we knew before, but I don't know what she did. She tried to, it's like she kind of tried to suffocate everyone. I was reminded of that scene like from The Legend of Korra, where they were able to use airbending to kind of suck the air like right out of someone's lungs. That's kind of what it reminded me of. And now we seem to be all right. Meteion's gone, but so is Thancred. I have a bad feeling about that, but let's go ahead and see what the heck is going on. Okay, so we're back here. We're just outside the Ragnarok, and everyone else here is with us, minus Thancred. And we're just getting our first look around this new area. Okay, a strange new world. Try as he might, Alphinaud can find no sign of Thancred. We're fortunate this place can support life, albeit barely. I suspect given the torpid, stale quality of the air. But never mind that, we must find Thancred. Let's begin our search for the prow of the ship. It seems a good direction as any. Try not to stray too far, at least we lose sight of one another. This place is so creepy. But it's gorgeous. Look at that sky. What's coming out of the ground? They look like little fireflies coming out of the ground, but I'm guessing they're motes of ether or something. Look at all this. Oh, we got little strands of flowers. Deca Alto. Delta Oko, I think that's how it's pronounced. Are those dragons? Wait, is this like the remains of like the Dragon Star? Can we fight these things or it's not moving? Oh, are they like statues? I think these are like statues. Why? Like, oh, well that one's moving. What the heck is going on here? What is all this? I see no one else in this barren waste, do you? Then why do I feel like we're not alone? Like there's this other presence with us, something dark and mournful. Well, we're surrounded by dragons. What is all this? What was this, I wonder? It looks like some kind of gunk. This is a structure here in front of me, yes? A tower of some sort. It's partially melted. It's a strange twist of fate. It seems our perception of this place is not so different as it would be elsewhere. The world as I used to see it. It feels as though I am dreaming while awake. This is more than the faded memory Meteion led us to believe. Oh, it's melted! So are we on the Dragon Star? These remnants have long since turned to ash, and yet they retain their form. Oh, it's like half a dragon! Okay, this is kind of creeping me out. What is all this? I want to look around. But at the same time, I'm kind of freaked out. What is all this? There's so much to see, I don't know where to start. Ruins, but of what, I wonder? Perhaps we can find something to help us understand the nature of this place. A relic, an inscription, anything. Okay, molten structure? The metallic pillar has been partially melted, likely somewhere in the distant past. The damage does not appear to have been inflicted deliberately. Rather, it calls to mind the indiscriminate destruction often wrought in the heat of battle. Okay. Raha is a historian, so he would be able to recognize some. Look here, this part is relatively intact. The intricate design of the top suggests it is man-made, though its builders were surely not men as we conceive them. Having said that, I swear I've seen this pattern before. I'm not sure what you mean by pattern. Something's out here. Oh, a Stydian. I thought this hill might afford a better view of our surroundings. Poor decision in hindsight. Besides the light from the ship, all is surrounded in darkness. If Thancred is here, I'd never know it. From what I can tell, we are near the edge of an island, if you can call it that, surrounded by floating debris. It's true. I mean, there's that light from that pillar of ether over there. And over there. Oh, I remember Midgard-Zormer's fight, like in Omega. Oh, so is this really like what's left of the Dragon Star then? I mean, if we tell them that we know Midgard-Zormer, I mean, they might be willing to help us out. I don't know. I mean, that was thousands of years ago, I know, but still. Okay. Were you able to find anything? Not much. As I feared, still no trace of Thancred. There's nothing but emptiness as far as the eye can see, which unfortunately isn't very far. I can't help but suspect that someone or something is here. There are times when I sense it drawing close, and then a chill washes over me, leaving me exhausted. Leaving me with feelings of death and anguish. Well, that's creepy. I felt it too when I was near that thing. What are you talking about? There's nothing there. Watch! They can't see it! It's a bloody dragon! It's right there! What's going on? Am I like the only one who can see it now? Before we jump to any conclusions, perhaps we should search elsewhere. Agreed. We found only more questions when we are in desperate need of answers. There's a fair stretch of terrain from the ship's starboards we've yet to explore. Let's try searching there, then. Hello? Claire, a word before we join the others. Oh, please tell me he can see these things too. Or is this like something that only the Echo can give us? Like, typical. Like, whenever something doesn't make sense, just throw in the Echo and suddenly everyone buys it. There's definitely more dragons around here, and there's more of those pillars of ether, and I'm sure this has to be the Dragon Star, or like maybe some part of it. I mean, Meteion said that she was collecting pieces of dead worlds, so I don't know, maybe she brought it here. You see them too, don't you? The dragons. Oh, thank God, he can see it. As I thought, their presence is tenuous at best, but there's no mistaking it. No doubt your bond with Midgardsormr and mine with Nidhogg is what allows us to perceive them. Ah, that explains it. Could these apparitions be related to the dragons that now live on Theros? Bah, better to leave such conjecture to the others. In any case, we must be careful. We may soon find dragons they can see as well. Death and anguish. What happened to them, I wonder? You know, he's come a long way from one to slay pretty much every dragon out there to, I don't know, like, being kind of like a champion of both man and dragon. This is kind of creepy. I'm scared of being around here, but we're near an aetheryte. I don't know how there's an aetheryte around here. Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. What's with those dragons? My sight may have been restored after a fashion, but I fear what I see cannot be trusted. It's as if Meteion herself has etched these images upon my heart. I doubt not that such a feat is within her power, given that she constructed the sanctuary herself. Look there. Are those ghosts? Do you think? Well, wow, I didn't think about that. Surely mine eyes deceive me. This cannot be possible. So they can see them, at least. Dragons. It is true they are not of our world, but to find them in a prison of despair. Seems these dragons have yet to succumb completely to the darkness of this place, meaning the others should see them as well. What is all this? Are they ghosts? I mean, they don't look right. I mean...
Dragons? Here?
What you see is a memory of a world that once was. A world suffering a slow death, whose denizens cried out for the release of oblivion.
What? Their world is dead?
It is. Not a single life remains upon that husk floating in the vast emptiness. These creatures are shadow in shade, perpetuated only to suffuse dynamis with their unending lamentations.
Our friend Thancred. Where is he?
A strange question. He is at your side, is he not?
What?
Oh, yes. He is here and there, and everywhere within this space. He would tell you himself if he had form to form words.
What the heck? What are you talking about?
Huh. Such loathing and uncertainty. You don't know why you still exist. In like manner to the oblivion I send. I tried to drown out your ether with dynamis. Beginning with this Thancred. who came at me despite being unable to breathe. Such a simple thing, unmaking men. In the blinking of an eye, he was gone. Didn't even have the chance to be transformed. Yet somehow, he managed to leave a slither of himself behind. What you call the heart? Or perhaps the soul. In his final moment, he cried out from it. A single word. Survive. That wish proved stronger than the despair that ruled here. It overpowered it, causing this space to be remade.
So is he dead?
Into a place you can perceive, and where life can endure. That you draw breath is proof that his soul lives on. For how long, however, remains to be seen.
Okay, so he is still alive, but barely.
Well then, we should hurry and tend to business.
Knew it was too simple.
It's futile. You will never reach the true me. I told you, emotions dictate reality in this space. Such changes as you might work will not alter its nature. You may see, but you cannot touch. Walk, but not advance.
Meteion holds too much sway here. How do we contend with a foe who can unmake us on a whim?
That is a good question.
I do not know. But Thancred gave his life that we might come this far. We must press on.
Agreed. We cannot turn tail here. Not without something to show for our comrade's sacrifice.
So, he pretty much, like, sacrificed himself to create this land that we're standing on, like, habitable. I mean, is he... What do we do? How do we help him? I mean, why do I have a bad feeling about all of this? Don't tell me, like, we're gonna be losing all of our friends one by one. Please don't tell me that. His will was strong enough to reshape Ultima Thule that we might survive, that I might see again. His sacrifice must not be wasted. So she can see while she's here. Even though her eyes are still clouded over. I understand now why the Loperites were surprised to find that this environment could sustain life there but for Thancred's sacrifice. He can't really be gone, can he? Meteion herself said his soul persists, that he is the reason that we are still breathing. If so, then maybe... Yeah, I can't see him being gone. Not like that. My aim was true, I had her. How are we to defeat an enemy we cannot attack? Yeah, I have no clue. I don't know. It's hard to believe Thancred was able to overcome Meteion's will, yet here we are. Whether the price for his victory had not been so high. Urianger, bird and wings. Despite Meteion's words, Urianger cannot accept his comrade is gone. Soul without body, a form of being with which we are not wholly unfamiliar. Indeed, for we existed in a similar state when residing in the first. The circumstances are rather more dire than that, 'tis true, but I choose to believe he is not forever lost to us. Regardless, in sacrifice he hath afforded us a chance to prevail. Let us not squander it, and ascertain the nature of this realm, that we might confront and defeat Meteion. Estinian, Claire, would you accompany me in speaking with these dragons? Mayhap they can enlighten us. I would ask the rest of you to survey these surrounds. If there is a path that may lead us to our quarry, we must find it. Wow, he's taking charge. Very well, we can reconverse here when everyone has finished. Meteion said these dragons are shadow and shade from a world whose denizens sought oblivion. As such, they're not like to be amenable to company, let alone conversation, so please be careful. Let us split up and gather what knowledge we may. I mean, Urianger, he's taking this really hard. I've always felt like maybe he and Thancred are like best friends, almost. I know that it sounds strange, especially with how Thancred teases him all the time, but maybe it's because of that. Because Urianger, like, he's really upset. Like, I mean, everyone's upset here, but he's really taking this whole thing personally. Hello? Art thou unlike the others? This place ill befits thee. Do not tarry over long. Okay, who are you? Tell him my tale alters not its course. If thou knowest my brethren once ruled these skies, will our kingdom return? Should I boast that I was first among our hunters? Will the comrades I failed live again? Okay, you're clearly not in a good mood. Nay, once I lived, and now I await the coming oblivion. Nothing more. Okay, I think we'll leave him alone. A visitor, not of the star. Could thy slender hands bring plague to our world? Thy breath extinguish life's feeble flame? Oh, how we would adore thee. Alas! With time our flesh shall wither, our souls fade, and so we wait for its inexorable march onto oblivion. If thou art not come to hasten our demise, I bid thee leave us. We crave not companionship, only silence. Okay, I'm kind of depressed now. This is so creepy. Distant, beyond that distant veil, paradise lost, so glorious, so beautiful. We were a proud and noble race, strength embodied. We knew only love before they came. Metal monstrosities of black and silver, no bonds of blood did they share, no conviction did they have to guide them. Crushing defeat, never have we known such shame. Still now are the winds, though none could fill these wings burdened by ignominy. We fly no more, only sink into oblivion. Okay, I have a feeling I'm going to be sick of that word, oblivion, by the end of this. Okay, Thou wouldst bid me speak? Folly. I observe the lesson of stone. I shall not fly, nor speak, nor roar, only watch, and wait, and end. But one sight yet stirreth my blood, tempteth me to raise my voice in lamentation. Amnol, the cradle of unsunned dragons. No words, no songs are possessed of the weight to describe such tragedy. Go, if that be thy will, I shall remain. Okay, so this has to be the Dragon Star. And we did learn from Omega that... Whoa, what the heck? Oh, see? See, this has to do something with Omega's world. It has to be. They led you here as well, did they? It was described to me as the source of their woes and proof of their end. I think I'm beginning to see why. It's a hatching ground, or was. I've seen similar on Atheris. Midgardsormr's kind must once have lived and thrived in a place such as this. Beatrice said his father was driven from their ancestral home by war and strife. This, then, is the fate of those who remained. Let's have a look around. Mayhap these eggs have more to tell of what happened here. Oh, that sound. It's like the embryo gunk is everywhere. Shadow dragon egg. Gently lifting a large egg from the viscous mire, you peer inside and see a formless mass soaking in a pool of embiotic fluid. Your stomach turns as you return the egg to its resting place. Murky liquid has pooled inside the eggshell. The obnoxious vector is indicated of contamination. Yeah, I can see why they're upset. Inside the shattered egg, you find the remains of an unborn dragon. The body has already begun to decompose. Yeah, I can see it here. The gelatinous half-dried membrane covering the corpse suggests it failed to emerge. This egg appears to have been broken from inside out. Perhaps the dragonette within succeeded in hatching. Oh! What's this? I thought all the eggs had been ruined. If the dragonette was indeed hatched, there is no sign of it here, or its sire, for that matter. We should look for them. You start with the cliff tops, I'll search the plains. Oh, you're telling me that there's like a little dragon... Is it like the last dragon born here or something? Maybe it can help us out. See if we can find it. Oh man. I mean, I do know that Midgardsormr fought with Omega before fleeing his world and flew across the stars to Atheris. Oh, okay, it's over there then. Dragon. What the heck? What's that? Malformed dragonette? Well, I don't know. I don't know what to say. The boisterous howling hath been quieted. By thy hand, I presume? Everything alright? I thought I heard a dragon, or something resembling one. I see what happened here. Was that your child? Perhaps. Some eggs within Omnol are indeed mine. If life within one did quicken, the beast has slain may be of my blood. Yet I do not recognize it, twisted and malformed as it is. Not a dragon in truth, but a reminder of our failure. Testament to our shame. Explain. They descended from the heavens, cold, heartless machines, and with them rode war and death. With fire and fury, rage and rancor, we gave answer. 'Twas a long and bloody battle, but only the beginning. Untold chaos and destruction swept over the star. In the end, the invaders were victorious. Yet when they looked upon their prize, they deemed it unfit for requisition. We were abandoned to our ruin. Well, that's insult to injury. The survivors sought to put away their shame, to rebuild. Futile effort. The purest soils replete with ether did we once cultivate our nesting grounds, but our lands were barren, and any eggs nurtured in such desolation were fated to rot. What few survived to hatch emerge as abominations. We shall have no new progeny. There are dragons among you capable of journeying to other stars. That there are, many would make the attempt, each bearing a clutch of eggs. The richest stars were home to the harshest rulers, and the arrival of dragons incited contests for supremacy. When the fires faded, when wars lost and won, they too were reduced to ash and waste. 'Tis the curse of those who seek life, to be drawn into conflict, to conquer or be conquered. A vicious cycle we now choose to break. We tire of conflict, of everything. We wait now in sweet, merciful silence, free from strife and suffering, still as stone. Wait! Your claim your kind is doomed, but there is another star. Yeah, these guys don't know that Midgardsormr made it. So their kind is far from extinct. Okay, she's not listening. Test of will. The bereaved dragon has fallen silent, leaving Estinian to sigh with frustration. They want only to brood in silence, to be left alone with their grief until time itself comes to an end. The sole reward for senseless bloodshed. A pain I understand and wish that I did not. What fools we were. Now isn't the time for such thoughts. The others will want to hear what we've learned. Come. Okay, so the world that Omega came from came here, and basically they fought and fought and fought until finally Omega's creators, they won the war, but it so devastated the star that they felt that there wasn't anything left worth claiming. And so they just kind of up and left. So that's an insult to injury right there. Like, I don't blame them for being upset. They pretty much lost everything. And now and then they were told, you're not worth it anymore. Like, that is harsh. I don't know, maybe if we tell them that their kind did survive, and who knows, maybe other dragons were able to make it to other stars. I mean, they don't seem to know about Midgardsormr anyway. Good to see you made it back in one piece. The more I see of this place, the more bewildering it becomes. Did your exploration prove eventful? Converse with any dragons? Oh, plenty. None of it good. We would hear what the dragons had to share with you. Even if it's no different from what they told Oriange, it would have value. Chance to gain audience with several dragons here we returned, though I expect their tales are much the same as those you heard. Look, they have learned something to help us diverse a plan of action. Were you able to establish any meaningful contact with the dragons? I see. They wish to escape what they perceive to be a cycle of conflict. Thank you, Claire. Stinian. As for our part, I believe we are more acutely aware of our confines than before. We started by traversing the perimeter of the island to see if there might be a path leading off it. Sadly, there was nothing to be found. There's no small amount of debris floating about. Could there be enough to serve as a bridge to lead us elsewhere? I considered that, so I tried throwing a stone into a potential platform to judge its integrity. But it never reached its mark. As if it crossed an invisible threshold just beyond the boundaries of this island, it vanished, only to reappear above me and fall at my feet. I would not be too quick to presume that we will see outside this space, as it appears. which is why I returned to the Ragnarok and asked the Lomporits to search for a potential path. However, the ship's instruments failed to provide conclusive data on the surrounding area. Until we know more, I think it's too risky to attempt flying to another island. What Meteion told us before, that emotions dictate reality here, might be the key, but I'm not entirely sure what emotion might manifest a bridge to lead us to safety. So what you're saying is, we've no way forward. At present, if it is indeed emotion that governs this island, perhaps it is not Meteion's, but the dragons that hold us here. They tire of conflict. They have chosen a path of oblivion to escape it. Or rather, they have chosen no path at all, meaning there's no way for the dragons, or anyone here on this island, to advance. Ah, I get it. Sound theory, disheartening though it may be. If that is the case, what recourse do we have? They are not like to be persuaded to help us. The reasoning is built on history of turmoil and strife. Without refutable proof, the future is not as bleak as they believe it to be. Mayhap persuasion is not the answer. Meteion meant to unmake us, then and there on Ragnarok, and she would have succeeded if not for Thancred's determination. She conceded it was strong enough to overpower the despair that otherwise rules Ultima Thule, and reshape it to a degree. Perhaps it can be done again in like manner, by overpowering the prevailing emotions. It was Ultima Thule's architect, Meteion herself, against whom Thancred did pit himself in a clash of wills. Though I marked no leader among them, as such, I did chance to encounter a dragon possessed of despair far more potent than most, potent enough mayhap to dictate the course for others, and thus their domain to follow. He spoke but few words, carefully chosen, their tone in timbre alone and threatening to rend my heart in twain. Challenging his desire to remain may allow us to alter the islands upon which we stand. Alas, I fear my vaunting rhetoric availed me not against his classifying heart, but mayhap one of you will fare better. And I shall guide thee. I'll end, they call him, in the dragon tongue. Thou wilt find him nearby, eyes fixed upon the water. Well, what do we have to lose? Let's get going. I like the name. All End. All End. Is that like a joke, or did he just choose to name that himself? Stinian. Why do I have a bad feeling about this? I'm scared here. Are we gonna have to sacrifice our friends one by one to get us to Meteion? Because I'm starting to feel like that's the case here. And I don't like it. It basically, I guess someone's emotion in this area is so strong that it's preventing us from moving forward. So if we overpower their emotion with our own, it might allow us a chance to be able to move on from here. So that's basically what they're saying, I think. So now we gotta confront him and overpower him with our will, I guess? I don't know.
He remaineth as he was when I first approached, entombed in melancholy.
I see. Perhaps I could...
I'll handle this.
Oh no. This music. It can't be good.
So, waiting to die like all the others, are you?
Oh, that's why some of them turn stone.
So you say. Yet your kind has found a new beginning on our star. One of you braved the Expanse, bearing with him a clutch of eggs. They and their children now rule our skies, their song heard by all. They were. They suffered much, and repaid their suffering in kind. Had your brethren made the selfsame choice, my family might still be alive. Yet lasting peace does not come to those who simply retreat from conflict. No, you must be willing to confront it, to stare into the face of your foe, and see yourself in him. Only then can you break the cycle of torment and tragedy. This lesson, a dear friend taught me at the risk of his life. There is no nobility in your penance. You wallow in self-pity. And after everything we've endured, we will not let you stop us.
Estinian!
Stay back!
No.
That bars our way. The rest is up to you.
No! What's going on? What the hell? What happened?
No! Not Estinian too!
It was open for us.
There's a wind.
He's opened the way for us.
Oh no.
Sacrificed himself to remake this place. Like Thancred did.
Oh no.
Oh, Alphino.
Don't do this to us.
Come. Let us follow the wind. It will not lead us astray. He would not.
We only just got here and we're already 2 down. Why? Why take a Stygian? Oh my god. I don't know how to react to that. Oh my god. How much you want to bet that that strange thing up there is where she is? Like that weird star thing, like right there. I don't know. So he's this is gonna be common tread, isn't it? I mean, I know I made a video a while ago about like the death percentages of like the main characters in the game. I didn't mean it. But there's no way they're dead. There's no way they're dead and gone just like that. Like, they wouldn't give them, like, such an end. There's gotta be a way to... Oh, I get it. We still have Heidelin's ability, don't we? Like, before she left, she gave us... she infused, like, the Azim crystal with a way forward, right? Oh my god, that's brilliant there. At least I hope so. If I had known this place would claim Meteion too, No, it's what had to be done. Oh, that's cold, Alize. Must this always be the price paid for safe passage? As by the beating of mighty wings doth wind blow, where dragons may ne'er again touch the sky, he and the shade he bore shall soar free. Oh, come on, he's not dead! At least I hope not. The wind has stayed the fog that covered this island. In the air, it is no longer feels quite so stifling. Look there, the wind. This is Stygian's doing, I'm sure of it. We should ride its flow and see where it leads. So it's going to lead us to the next area. Well, the next section of this area. Oh. A powerful gale has delivered you to another island. The other sign should arrive before long. Oh, sure! Let us test it out! Yeah, I mean, Heidelin's ability. We still have that. That's our trump card here, so that should bring everyone back, right? Like, there's no way they can end the game with, like, everyone else dead. But I guess I can see how we might be able to fight the final trial without them. He did it. He found a way forward for us. The dragons remain trapped within a prison of their own making, lamenting the horrors of war, yet Stygian knew them better than most. He was a man of honor and a dear friend, willing to fight to the very end for what he believed was right. And he's still fighting Alphino, just like Thancred. Their sacrifices are why we can survive here, why we still have a chance to stop her. Even in spirit, they're unwilling to give in to despair, and we mustn't either. Alize is right. We must press on, for their sake. Oh, God. I mean, I need to know. Let's keep going. I'm gonna keep going forward here. We have to keep going. Even if Stygian isn't here to see it, I'm sure Alphino wouldn't want to disappoint him. No choice, but we have but to march onwards, lest or squander their noble sacrifices. To feign bravery with bold words is a simple matter, but without the strength of will to match, we are powerless against Dynamis. Not less than unshakable conviction will suffice, which makes me question if I'm up to the task. Don't think like that, Graha. It pains me to say it. We can ill afford to stop and grieve our comrades' passing. No, there'll be time enough after. They're not dead, though! I can't believe that. Rope to pay sacrifice. Knows regained his composure and is ready to proceed. As Yestola and Elise said, we must continue. Notice the change in our surroundings? Perhaps this is the memory of an altogether different world. To be prudent to learn more of it then. Tread carefully, lest we lose our footing in the sand. So it sounds like sand, so kind of like a desert-like area then? I can't wait to see what's next. So this is another world then, like the memory of another world anyway. Well, we can see more of the sky here at least. Whoa, what the heck is that thing? If you are worried about my vision, you needn't be. I can still see quite well. Another seemingly barren world. For mercy, the air is nowhere near as stale, but still quite dry, and the sand will no doubt prove bothersome in due time. Not for the light emanated by these glyphs, I might well have overlooked this monolith. Okay. Sand, sand everywhere. Were not for the violet crystal embedded in the surface, to appear as an ordinary stone. Curious script hath been etched upon them. Alas, it is not a language with which I am familiar. Cannot say I recognize it either. Nor I. The dragons, from what I can recall, preserve their knowledge in song and skew the written word entirely, so we may assume this is the work of another race, one we have yet to encounter. Meteion claimed the dragon's world suffered a slow death, seeking the release of oblivion. What life we find here, like as not, doth wend its way towards a similar end. Well, that's depressing. What do you suppose that is over there? I'm not sure. It's hard to make out at this distance, but its surface seems to bear the same crystals as this monument. Meaning there's a chance we may find whoever built them both. We should go and have a look. Come on. Oh! Oh god, it's one of those things! Like a tentacled eye thing. Oh, I hate those things. Okay, so the next aetheryte should be around here too. What are those? I've never seen those. Drifting Aya. What's an Aya? Hollow of the flesh? What? Ghostly figure? Huh? What the hell? What is it? I don't know what it is. Hail, travelers. This is a most unexpected occurrence. Oh, hello there. Is this your home? Indeed it is. Ah, forgive me, I had forgotten. An exchange of introductions is expected when first meeting those with whom one is unacquainted. Okay. When the vibration of local vocal folds was still required to convey our thoughts and intentions, Aya, I believe, was the pronunciation used which referring to our people. Though it is not entirely applicable given our present state, you are welcome to use this appellation. For the nomenclature to address my individual person, I believe it would be pronounced Clothcog. What? Yes, Clothcog of the Aya. Okay. We've encountered beings that communicate intermittently through thought, but never one that is wholly without voice. I presume we are having this conversation via the medium of ether or dynamis, as this place is suffused with vast quantities of it. Fascinating in either case. I gather your response to my presence is positive then? That is well, for there is something I wish to ask of you. Like yourselves, we AI are ether-based life forms. Therefore, it may be surmised that your bodies are of comparable biological composition to those we once possessed. I have a number of queries regarding your subjective perception of the five senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. In total, I have prepared 198,712,180,827. Okay. I don't think we have time for all of them. That's rather a lot, isn't it? My apologies. I omitted a great many details necessary to understanding the nature of my request. Though we dispensed with our corporeal vessels long ago, we have rediscovered a need for the flesh, and have endeavored to recreate our erstwhile forms. However, all permanent records have been lost due to the passage of time. Take, for example, the nervous system. It is well within our power to recreate, but we have no frame of reference for sensations once experienced by our people, which may compromise our ability to interact with our physical environment. And the reason you need to regain corporeal forms? Why, to bring an end to our existence, of course. Though need is perhaps too strong a word. It would be a simple matter to unmake ourselves through use of etheric accentrators, but such a death seems inadequate. The traditionalists among us believe proper death requires an inescapable sense of impermanence in one's final moments, an experience found only with bodies of flesh. We should very much like to hear more of your plans. In exchange, we will answer any questions you have to the best of our ability. Such an exchange of information would indeed prove useful. Very well. To ensure efficacious exchange, I hereby invite you to our home. Yes, the abode of the Aya, where we traditionalists prepare for our demise. I presume your consent to answer questions is indicative of a tacit approval of our plans, in which case your cooperation is greatly appreciated. I must caution you, however, to be mindful of the AI wandering the desert. Their desire for bodies of flesh could be described as overzealous. Now, if you would follow me... So, the orange ones that we ran into. This is going rather smoothly. Not that I'm complaining, mind. Even so, we mustn't forget their aim is oblivion, much like the dragons. Though I fail to see why civilizations so seemingly advanced would choose to unmake all that they have created. Oh no! At any rate, we'll find no answers dallying here. Let's be on our way. It's your Stola, isn't it? She's gonna be the next one to go. Okay. Whoa. Okay, this is weird. Alright, I mean, we still have another dungeon waiting for us, like the final dungeon. So we're gonna need at least a few scions left, so... I mean, Graha can be multiple ones, and I did see Urianger is capable of being both healer and DPS, so I don't know. More violet-colored crystals. I cannot place my finger on it, but there is something unsettling about them. What, you got the problem with violet-colored? I should not be surprised their concept of a village is so different from ours, and yet... The Isle of Dragons was shrouded by silence of the dead, yet the stillness here does suggest the Aya are, by and large, merely sleeping? They said there would be others, but I don't know what I was expecting. I have no idea. Something tells me we have different definitions of the word abode. Welcome to our abode. Most of our compeers, you will find, remain idle in their dormancies, though your quizzical expressions indicate my phrasing is unclear. I speak, of course, of the violet crystalline constructs hanging from the stone structures here. You say they remain idle, but what of your work to regain corporeal bodies? An astute question, and understandable given your finite nature. We have no desire to pursue our research, for it is no longer necessary. If in our idleness we are struck by sudden inspiration, we rise to pursue said inspiration to its conclusion. That's why I was present for your arrival, and why I continue to engage with you still. But while the others are not currently in a motile state, rest assured they would not object were you to disturb their respite. You need only cast your thoughts towards one of their crystalline domiciles to communicate. So they can hear thoughts then. Cast your thoughts towards a crystalline domicile, but there is no response. Okay, so this is another different type of aetherite. It's probably the simplest design I've seen so far. You wish to speak? Very well, pray a moment, if you would. Okay, so that's at least one of them. Oh, hey, Alfie. I suppose there is a logic to creatures comprised of spiritual energy utilizing crystals as living spaces, but it's nevertheless surprising to see. Why we seek our end, you ask? If you wish to know, I will tell you. Just a moment, I must remember. What form did I take when last I emerged? Strange moaning comes and goes, but soon fades into silence. I don't like that either. Wish I could hear their voices so I know what they sound like. I'm just kind of going off what I think it might sound like. They are so weird looking. Did your inquiries yet yield satisfactory responses? I see. If they fail to answer, then it's likely because their minds have unraveled due to prolonged idleness. They are not but concentrated ether now. Okay. Is that good or bad? Worry not, there are no others who have need of those lodgings, and they will not prove an hindrance to remain as they are. But more importantly, you said some few did answer your request for an audience, yes? I imagine they will be with us ere long. Oh, yay! Level 90! Sticking with the pointy end. Okay, Cloth Clog languorously awaits his brethren's arrival. Okay, these titles are just becoming harder and harder to read. I gotta say, they look the most like aliens out of everything else I've ever seen. I have no luck, but everyone else fared well enough. Quite a few Aya have awakened. Ah, there they are. Well, they seem friendly enough. May I introduce you to Lac du Derke and Neoligd. Been too long, Kothkogt. I dare say Sarge the Fourth has since completed an orbit. Indeed, until the travelers brought it to my attention, I hadn't noticed how unraveled some had become. Travelers? Ah, of course. The ones who wish to know why we seek to regain corporeal forms. The truth of the matter is as plain to see as the neighboring systems, but my single account would fail to satisfy the requirements for scientific objectivity. Thus did I bid them awaken you. Am I the only one who struggles to tell who is speaking? Hey, thus are not. The absence of corporeal forms and the divergence they afford may have such similarity in voices unavoidable. By the way, Cloak, have you already observed the resequent custom for the travelers? That which one is expected to do when receiving guests, a matter of proper form. It weirds me out when they do that. Ah, yes, so long has it been, it completely escaped my mind, and still does. What was it again? I can't seem to remember. Neither do I. Pity, I was hoping you would. Perhaps we can search the archives for the answer. Come now, Nidict. The archives have long been frozen, lest we subject ourselves to further dolor. Surely you can recall that much. Ah, of course! Food! The custom is to serve food. Beings of flesh such as they must regularly replenish their ether. By contributing to their replenishment, we communicate our friendly intention. I mean, we're right here! That's right, that's right! We duly invite you to join us in communal repast, after which we may engage in leisurely conversation. If we have a chance to learn something, then I see no reason to decline. Excellent! If you would care to follow, we shall feast you on the purest ether. Okay, I was kind of wondering what they consider to be food. Seeing as how they don't have mouths, I don't see why they would be able to serve food. Oh, there's quite a few around here. This facility is where we replenish our ether. There's no particular name for it, but we traditionally sometimes use the word restaurant. Now then, if you would take your place with your comrades, the space will soon be awash with purest ether. Please absorb as much as you like. Absorb? Why do I have a bad feeling there's a trap? We were told to stand wherever we like. This strikes me as less of a meal and more a ritual. Judging by the construction of this facility, it would seem the Aya directly draw upon the ether, meaning it won't do us any good. Either, they said, but I can't help but feel a bit nervous. If they are thus able to replenish their ether, the loss of vital substance isn't likely to be the cause of their demise. It is if it is as I suspect, then the so-called feast. Actually, let's just see for ourselves. Fear not, we are not like to come to harm. I'll take your word for it. You brace yourself for the rush of sweet, sweet ether, but nothing seems to happen. Perhaps you need to wait a little longer? Brace yourself again, but again, nothing seems to happen. Okay. Just as I suspected, as miraculously as one might recreate the Aya's home's world, this is Ultima Thule. One cannot simply generate ether here. As recreations, our friends are oblivious to this fact, to the very truth of their existence, much like the phantoms of the recreated Amarant. Ah. However appearances may seem, we must ever be mindful that this is the memories of the dead with whom we deal. Well, that's depressing. So, did you have your fill of ether? Alas, we couldn't absorb it. A deficiency in our forms, it would seem. Oh, how very unfortunate. May I ask how you normally replenish your ether? Yeah, with food, you know. Through your mouths, you say? How very primitive and quaint! To think that their mouths serve not only to expel sound, but draw in substances besides. Such life forms have long since vanished from our systems. Though we regrettably could not partake of your magnificent feast, rest assured we feel your welcome most keenly. In the course of acquainting ourselves with your sophisticated ways, however, we could not fail but wonder, wherefore do you wish to obtain vessels of flesh and thence to vanish? Will you not favor us with an explanation? Your flesh and blood beings are always so hasty. It does have its charms, however. Very well, we shall indulge you. In the beginning, when the Aeas yet possessed corporeal forms, our ancestors dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge and technological advancement. By transcending all limitations, we believe we would eliminate sorrow and abide in true happiness. From the tangible, such as lands, to the intangible, such as labor, there existed myriad hindrances to progress, but the most confining of it was the flesh itself. Our natural lifespan was distressingly middling, you see, too short to enjoy unhurried lives, yet too long to be considered disposable. Furthermore, to simply maintain the integrity of our bodies demanded considerable resources. But we managed to solve this problem. After long years, we discovered how to become non-corporeal entities with everlasting lives, untroubled by the failures of the flesh. Thus changed, we had more time and freedom to continue our scientific pursuits. We went on to make ever grander strides in our quest to transcend all limitations until we finally decided to challenge the last of them all, the limit of knowledge. That is to say, deciphering the laws of creation. We sought to discover how the universe came into being and explain all exact phenomena and thus predict the future. If we could but achieve this, we believe that we would be free from uncertainty and anxiety. And did you find the answers you sought? Yes, we did. Our efforts revealed to us a fundamental truth. Knowledge of said truth is essential for the continuation of our conversation. If you would learn more, we will share it with you. No, we mustn't. Primitive as they are, it would be unspeakably cruel to deprive them of their ignorance. They are possessed of corporeal forms, their lives readily ended. As those who have gone before, is it not our duty to warn them? And now they're all arguing. What thinkest thou? We have deliberated and come to a consensus. If you are resolved to know it, we will disclose to you the truth we discovered, the truth of the universe. Seek us at the stone pillars just outside the bounds of the abode, a place called Eligia. Wow, secret of the universe, right here in the game. Like her master, Y'shtola seeketh the truth of creation. Oh wow, so she's gonna love this. How will the truth of the Ea, who uncovered all only to desire the end, fall upon her ears? Yeah, probably best if we don't know. You may be intimately familiar with the problem, know it like the back of your hand, yet be powerless to solve it. In the course of my struggles, I've often been made keenly aware of this fact. I wonder, have the Ea never felt the same frustration? To find the laws of creation would have been no small feat, even for the Ea. Nay, having eternal life and hence no sense of haste would only have made it harder. Really? Such tremendous drive for knowledge they once have had, and I struggle to reconcile it with the listless beings before us. Whatever answers they found, it did not bring them happiness. Ooh, I don't like that. It is true that a lack of knowledge can beget fear. Therefore, in theory, by acquiring all knowledge, it may be possible to attain peace. But as Heidelin told us, all those people who attempted to free their worlds from life's woes met with failure. Niea are among them, as their presence here attests. Their tale we are about to hear will not be a happy one. Yeah. Y'shtola? A fundamental truth. We will hear it, of course. Let us learn what has led such an enlightened people to this indolent end. Where knowledge leads. Something seems to be weighing on Urianger's mind. Okay, he's probably worried about Y'shtola. Ere we join the air, there is one trifling matter I would fain investigate. Claire, Grahatia, may I trouble you for your assistance? But of course. My thanks. We shall head outside the abode, if you would kindly follow me. I know not what mischief you are plotting, Urianger, but I trust you have our best interests at heart. The rest of us shall go on ahead to Iligia. Least you worry, we won't start without you. As long as Urianger explains himself to you, then I shall be satisfied. Do lend him an ear in my stead. Yeah. There's not a desert out there. What could Urianger wish to investigate? I have a feeling it's not an investigation. Go on and assist Urianger with this mysterious task. We shall wait for you. Yeah, I have a feeling he really just wants to get the two of us separated so that he can talk to us specifically. Why that is, I don't know. But it's funny that no one here seems to really trust him when he wants to go off on his own. So it's kind of like they have to, like, so long as he's there with like a minder or like a babysitter, then they're okay with it. Otherwise, they get noticeably nervous. You're like, what's he plotting now? Like, you can't really blame them. So apparently we're about to learn the secret of the universe in this game, so that's fascinating. And I feel like it's going to be Y'shtola. We're going to be losing Y'shtola next, aren't we? And I don't know. I just don't know. Spring. Sizable one at that. I hadn't noticed it amidst the dunes. So it must be near an oasis then. Aye, this place shall serve. Is it the spring that you wish to investigate? Pray forgive me, my friends, but there is naught to investigate. 'Twas but a pretense to speak in private. You have our undivided attention. As we have established here in Ultima Thule, those denizens of ruined stars are recreated in their twilight days. Yet one question doth arise in my mind. So faithfully formed are the Simulacra, they believe themselves yet amongst the living. How dost thou suppose this is possible? Meteion's taken their hearts onto herself? I'm inclined to agree. If Meteion can take the emotions of others as her own, I dare say she would be able to recreate them more faithfully than had she relied on any historical account. By which logic, she must have visited them while they still yet lived, the dragons and the Ea both. So too did I theorize, and upon that assumption, consider how those two races may have met their demise. According to thine own tale, Meteion perceiveth the emotions of those nearby as her own, a heightened sense of empathy intrinsic to her nature as an entelechy. In the course of her starfaring journey, if she encountered beings who strongly desired a cessation of their existence, she would be powerless before that desire. Even as she possesseth the power to grant it, power of Dynamis. 'Tis my supposition that, overwhelmed by their longing for death, Meteion did unleash Dynamis and ushered the dragons and the Ea onto their doom. Oh my god! So she's responsible for this. Of course, such was not always the outcome. Full many stars did she find already lost to ruin. In order to create a terminus, however, the fervent desire for the end is essential. Therefore, should you struggle to find the way forward, pray ask yourselves this. In the place where you stand, whose is the soul that yearneth most desperately for oblivion? Why do you tell us this now? Ne'er again would I betray your trust. This pledge I did make to my comrades, and bringing thee into my confidence, I would remain true to thy word. He can't lie to us anymore. He doesn't want to. As for thee, let us consider it my fitting reward for the secrets I harbored for the Crystal Exarch. Oh, that is cold. I once placed my faith in thy chosen path, walking at thy side, full knowing that we were bound for thy demise. I ask now that thou returnest the favor and abide in faith as I fulfill mine own destiny. Don't tell me he's gonna offer himself up here! If you say my debt has come due, how am I to refuse? 'Tis indelicate of me, I know full well, and I can but beg thy forgiveness. Oh, that lovable dork! Yet even if I must needs go to such lengths, I cannot well feign ignorance of the answer I have found within. The answer to the question, in what moment might I stand strongest? After all we've been through, I will say only this. Do what you must. Do what you must and see your convictions through. I don't want to lose him. Oh. Are they trying to make me cry? I shall, my friend, I shall. Without further ado, let us go and join our comrades. Okay, so basically he's telling us that there's a good chance he's gonna die here. Let's be off to Elegia. Okay, so even it may have been intentional, but basically Meteion may have accidentally triggered the deaths of several of these stars, including both the Dragon Star and this particular world of the Ea. Basically, she used her connection with Dynamis to kind of drown out this world, kind of like what she's doing to Aetheris. But apparently, like, whoever's despair is the greatest among, like, these civilizations that we find, they're the key to being able to progress forward. So we have to find them, overpower their despair with our own convictions, and only then will the path open up. And Urianger is telling them then this because there's a chance that he may have to offer himself up. So it's either going to be him or Y'shtola this time around. Man, so The reason he told us was because he couldn't stand lying to the Warrior of Light anymore. He didn't want to lie to Claire anymore. And I guess he's kind of getting back at the Exarchs for making him keep all those secrets. Oh my god. Oh, that lovable dork. I still... There's no way that we're just going to say goodbye to the Scions one by one like this. That would be way too sad an ending. Like, they wouldn't do something like that. So I do think we're going to get them back. Come, let us hear what the Aya's tale and learn what caused such enlightened beings to crave nihility. Don't mind me. While we waited, we mentioned our star's situation to the Aya. They nodded sagely, or something to that effect. You mean they can nod? I understand you've taken care of business. If you're ready to begin, then so are we. Seems everyone is accounted for. Shall we then? Okay, good. Is this gonna be a cutscene? I think my voice is starting to go on me.
Please continue. Tell us about this truth you discovered.
We get to hear their voices.
Very well. Bear in mind, however, that the purpose of this conversation is not to impart scholarly knowledge, for such requires that you comprehend the subject matter, which you will not. We will forego the intricacies of our scientific methodology and deal only with the conclusion, the end of our society and our world. We acknowledge, with regret, that your star is in the midst of the same panic-induced cataclysm that befell Thancred III. As such, in order to avoid causing undue distress, we will refrain from explicitly stating how much time you have remaining.
You are entirely too kind. I pray you recount your tale as you see fit.
In the beginning, the universe was but a tiny particle. Then suddenly, this particle began to expand. Having remained entirely in the bounds of your star, the phenomenon may be difficult for your kind to grasp. But this expansion has since continued unabated. Speculating that the universe could not grow indefinitely, we sought to learn what might occur, and made a worrying discovery. The stars will continue to spread apart, as will their finite thermal energies. Eventually, all heavenly bodies will grow cold and freeze. No new stars will be born, and the universe will enter onto an eternal ice age. In hopes of proving that this determination was erroneous, we scrutinized our research from all angles, even as we sought to avert the everlasting winter. The endeavor proved fruitless. So infamously so, in fact, that it became synonymous with vain effort. The universe as we know it would end, and there is no way to prevent it. Beneath the weight of this knowledge, our society stagnated. Though we had time still, it was a cold comfort. Why strive for anything when desolation is assured? When our wealth of wisdom, accumulated since the dawning of our kind, would be forever lost. No civilization would rise from our ashes. No scholar recover our knowledge. In silence unbroken, naught would stir. Intellect was once our pride. Overnight, it became our shame. Our works, monuments to futility. Immortality, our greatest invention, became a source of suffering. Rather than suffer on, Many chose to unmake themselves by means of etheric exsanguinators. Etched upon these stones are the testaments of such souls, though many left no words at all, thinking it a pointless gesture. Once we have obtained vessels of flesh, we likewise intend to vanish. If you understand this, understand aught of our tale, you will abandon your quest for knowledge. Ignorance truly is bliss. If you would cling to your illusory happiness, remain primitive and pure. It is the only way.
Oh, she doesn't like this.
So that's your story. While I appreciate your advice, I will not heed it. Convinced though you may be of this truth, it is yours and not mine. Indeed, truth, I have ever believed, is in the eye of the beholder.
Are you suggesting that we have reached a faulty conclusion? That our science failed us?
Hardly. As you yourself said, the subject matter is beyond my comprehension. And that, I accept, is true. I do not possess the knowledge to prove or disprove your conclusion. In my mortal years, I doubt I could even approach the wisdom of the air. But of one thing am I absolutely certain. I would not be happier in ignorance.
Oh no.
Y'shtola, no! You mustn't!
The most important lesson I've learned is that learning isn't simply passing one's eyes over words. Nay, 'tis when understood for oneself that knowledge attains its true value. This is what has sustained me, driven me onward in joy and wonder, in anger and sorrow. The universe may end, and all may be for naught, but I will live as I always have. I will always seek out new knowledge, and no conclusion of yours, no matter how grim, can dampen my desire.
I suppose it is only to be expected. Their feeble minds cannot fathom the terrifying gravity of it all. But worry not. We consider it our duty to enlighten you, and we will not stop until you grasp the full extent of our despair.
Oh, it's another bird. Oh no!
Keep calm and listen well. Though my body will soon dissipate, there may be a way to restore it.
Yes!
Azim's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back. But you mustn't, for it would mean losing our way forward. This I only reveal so that you can promise not to invoke the magic. We came here knowing what victory may cost, so press on. Press on, and do not look back.
I shall join thee. As subterfuge is not required, thou shalt not suffer for mine absence.
Oh no! We're losing both of them?
My resolve hath never been as strong as thine. Full oft have I wavered in my decisions, and afterwards been stricken with regret. In spite of this, I may still stand with my comrades, supporting them as they attempt the greatest of feats. This truth I have learned in the course of our journey.
Oh no!
And many though my shortcomings may be, I may also claim to excel in prophecies. My studies, into which have granted me the flexibility of mind needed to bend this malleable reality. Thus shall I hope that thou mayest have the strength to resist, and our comrades the strength to continue.
With you to urge us on, how could we possibly fail?
No! The way forward.
What's this? An extinguished civilization. Rekindled.
That's right. Our quest doesn't end here. We'll press on, and we will find you.
There. That's where you'll find me.
Is that another star?
Of the stars we visited, most were already devoid of life. And where there was life still, the inhabitants wished for death. But even death, we learned, isn't truly the end. It is but a part of the cycle of rebirth. Souls return to the star, or in its absence, a larger flow. And eventually they are reborn, alive again, to know suffering anew. True salvation lies not in dying. It lies in not being born. This is the gift I would give to you. To all life on beautiful Atheris.
So she wants to stop the cycle of rebirth.
To that end, we created an egg wherein life cannot quicken. That dead sun. Attain it if you can. Before your friends' emotions fade away, along with their protection.
We're dropping like flies. At least we know where we need to go now. Okay, so this just keeps getting worse. We're losing our allies like one after another, and Meteion doesn't just want to wipe out life, she wants to stop the whole cycle. I'm fine, Claire. Like I said, our quest doesn't end here. Never I felt such emptiness. It's as if a part of me is gone. Hey, victory lost. Okay, but I think we'll save it there. My voice is about to go on me, and I don't know how much more I can take, so we're gonna call it there right now, so... Oh jeez, this is getting insane. Like, I don't know how much more... like, by the time we get to the star, that dead star above us, we're gonna be on our own. So, as hard as it was to see what happened with Thancred, Yastola, and Urianger, and Estinian, it's going to be even worse because we have Graha and the twins here, and out of all the Scions, like, I think the Warrior of Light is the closest to Graha and the twins. Like, we could throw in Estinian too, but there's like a really powerful, really special connection they have with those three particular, and it's going to be insane. Like, we're going to be seeing them sacrifice themselves. I just know it. And I mean, we might still be able to do the final dungeon. We still have 3 Scions, and if Graha can play whatever role that he can, then I don't know how we're going to work this out. I mean, we still have the 3 of them. I know that. So technically we can still make the next dungeon work, but I don't know. I don't know how this is going to end. I don't want to see any more, but thank you so much for watching. This is Fantasy Girl going to be signing out. This is probably the longest video I've made yet. And I don't know, like, it's good and it's terrible at the same time. So until next time, everyone, take care.